Hey gamers, welcome back. We are back at The Infected. This is episode 2 here at Shadow Gaming. I am your host, Shithole Slayer. Today we're going to get back right to it. We're setting up our base again, continuing from where we left off. I'm not sure where that was, but we'll figure it out real quick in a hurry here. Alright, we're back in. So, a couple things I mentioned last session. The Technologies tab. We're going to start there. So if you go to these little gears, it'll show you the tech pages. So the way you progress in the technology is you find tech pages scattered around the world in POIs. The large-scale city close to the center of the map does not have any. Everywhere else does, and I believe it's limited to between 1 and 3 techs per POI, I believe. In one of my games, recently, the tech did respawn in a spot, but it was my last tech page to collect, and once you collect them all, they just disappear. They don't spawn anymore in the worlds. So you will get exactly this many techs, and then no more, because they won't spawn after that. So, much like the loot respawns, apparently, eventually, the tech does respawn, I guess, because I found a tech in a place I had previously looted. Now, it is also possible that I missed that tech initially, but I didn't get a chance to further test that since it was my last tech page. But I was pretty sure I cleared it out. And again, you'll find 1 to 3 tech pages per POI. And then once you collect a tech page, you just select a tech and hit learn. There are also technologies and perks that you can buy at the trader, which we will explore later when we actually get to the trader. But we are not there yet, and may not be for a little bit. I also mentioned that we would hunt an animal. We're going to have to because we need bones. So bones will break down on the workbench, which we do not have yet. Speaking of which, I should probably grab some rocks. If you shift right click, you'll move them from the container to your inventory and or vice versa. Oh, cool. Need the feathers later. Excuse me. When you kill an animal, you can, of course, butcher it. Now, you can butcher it on the spot with your axe. And that's fine. You'll get the meat, and in larger animals, you'll get livers, which is fine. But what you're really after is the animal fat and the skin. And that you don't get until you have a butcher's table. Unfortunately, you don't really have a way to reliably store large carcasses unless you want to build an absolute mountain of carts. And that is not anyone's idea of fun. Every cart takes planks, logs, and nails, unfortunately. And the nails are the clincher because you need 5 iron fragments to make 1 iron bar, which will make 10 nails. So every cart that you want to build is going to be at the start of the game. It's going to be an exorbitant amount of rocks that you gotta smelt. Then you gotta smelt the fragments that you get. It is going to take a while, and it's not fun for the large part to have to do that all the time. So what you're actually going to want to do is you're going to slaughter an animal early to get the meat, to get the bones, unless you get lucky and you loot a car that has bones, or you manage to get into a POI without getting killed that has bones in it. And that last part is the tricky part, because POIs always have minimum 3 Vambies in them. Remember, Vambies are what they're called in this game. And we're just going to get ourselves some iron fragments. This will give us 2 iron fragments worth of 2 iron bars worth of iron every time we run these smelters. There's 5 of them. That's 10, and 10 will give us 2 bars per smelting session, which is good. You need them, but it's not fun to have to collect them. We're actually going to go in here. We're going to hope that we don't find a scorpion. Speaking of which, Mr. Scorpion, are you back here? I don't think you are. Scorpions appear randomly in these caves. There's anywhere between 3 and 5 of them per cave. It seems to be a little random. It is not set. So sometimes a cave will have 3, and sometimes it will have 5. Sometimes it will have 5. And they don't hurt. They don't do a lot of damage. What they do frequently is create infected wounds, which is way less fun than it sounds, because you need aloe and animal fat in order to create a medicated bandage to treat those wounds. Otherwise, you just bleed out like a fool. Now, you start with 5 medicated bandages and 5 regular bandages. but finding more can be a real challenge in this game because you don't start out with Loom Tech, and honestly, Loom Tech is good. It definitely has its purpose, it has its place, but it's not something that you want to have to grab early just because you keep getting wounded. So what you want to do is just go in there, get your mushrooms, try and avoid the scorpions. If you can't avoid the scorpions, well, that's unfortunate, but it does happen. It does happen. And if you go into your food tab, you'll notice that these mushrooms do not have an expiry time. So you can just carry them with you all the time and just eat them as necessary. And there we go. That'll be good. We're going to place that there. We're going to eat the meat that we do have already. And we're going to cook meat like that. And there we go. Bob's your uncle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, we are going to be going soon here to loot a POI, a small one, the one right next to us, actually. Hopefully, if RNGesus is being friendly, we will get more than one tech from it. And if that's the case, we may not need to... Yeah, see, there he is, little bugger. I don't want to mess with that. But random numbers are on our side. We will have access to a couple tech pages. If it's not on our side, well, we could be in trouble. We are going to drop down our workbench, because the workbench is free. You start with the ability to make the workbench. You don't have to pay any tech pages for that. So we're going to throw that down. Let's put that there for now. Then we're going to move this. Remember, at N, you can move stuff around. That'll be just tucky over there. And it needs 10 planks and iron nails. So we have the nails coming, sort of. There is a step between getting the iron, though, and getting the actual nails, and that is because you need an anvil in order to make nails with. The developer really thought the tech tree through. It's not like you can just fly through this stuff. You can fly through some of it eventually, but the early game you can't really just fly through. You really have to put in the work, do the research, make the appropriate stuff, and I actually like that. Come here, thank you. Oh, yeah, there we go. It's interesting. It says find some carbs, which we've already done because the mushrooms give you carbs, but you know they don't count for some reason. Odd that. Not entirely unheard of though. But yeah, as I was saying, the developer really put the time in to think about, making this a challenge while making it fair, and I like that. I really like that because I don't think anybody really wants a cakewalk of a game. Like, nobody wants that. Absolutely no one asks for that. There we go. Yeah, so like I was saying last session, you'll get 2, maybe 3 forges out of each firewood. And the thing is, if you walk away from them and you forget that they're burning or you leave them to cook something, you're not going to be there to actually pick up all your iron fragments, which kind of sucks. So what do we need for the anvil? I don't remember. Anvil. 5 ingots, and you know what? We'll put that there, because that'll be pretty out of the way. We'll be able to, yeah, okay. Gonna take those. There we go. We got our doorway. We're exhausted. What do we got? Cooked meat there. We'll put that there. Yeah, so again, we have 25 minutes. I don't know if we're actually going to get to this before those go bad. We're certainly going to try, but we promise nothing, and that's okay. So we're going to grab a stick of firewood. We're going to throw that on here and light that. And that's the other thing, too. If you're only using one piece of firewood at a time on your fire, you don't waste much. Like, let's say you go to a POI, takes you half a day to get there, and you forget that you're even cooking anything. Like, that's all that fuel gone, right? Whereas if you just use one at a time, right, you're fine because it's one piece of firewood. It's not going to kill you or your resources if you don't manage to make full use of one piece of firewood. Right? And firewood's easy to come by. Break down a small tree, you're fine. And we need to put more water on the fire. Oh, and that's another thing too. If you drink dirty water, like water you haven't boiled, it hurts, guys. Like, it hurts a lot. Don't do it if you can avoid it. Not worth it. Just wait for your water to boil. I think it does like 15 damage or something, which is actually pretty huge. when you consider that, you know, you don't have a ton of hit points. It's actually fairly large when you think of it that way, and you should not ever underestimate just how much that can hurt. I'm just going to go ahead and preemptively move this. There we go. Yeah, okay, I like that. All right, and again, we're just trying to, you know, maximize our space here. We don't want to be building a huge platform, not yet. It's not necessary, by and large. And if we keep this fairly compact, when we do expand out, we can just convert this into like a large-scale smeltery, which is actually fairly easy, and we'll do that later. But right now, there we go. Right now, this is just our main base. We'll build an actual house later. Oh, that's a bird. All right, so we need more rocks. And there's our next cooking batch. I say we're going to hunt an animal. We're going to try and hunt an animal. It's not as easy as it would sound necessarily, because you got to find them first. Come on. There we go. Actually, we're going to get all of our rocks together. There we go. There. I might be able to sneak the iron in on the back end of that log if I'm really quick. We're going to try for that. And the anvil requires 8 planks. We have 2. We have... So all of this will give us 8 iron ingots, 5 of which we're going to use for the anvil, and then we're going to need to use 1 of them to make nails for the workbench. And that will give us enough, hopefully. Come on. Going to be a race against time trying to get those iron ingots smelted. So we still got a little bit there to work with, but I have no idea how far that's going to go. Well, I guess we'll find out. So if that does happen, so if this gives out, we have to restart, basically. And that'll be fine. That'll be fine. We'll be fine. Like I said, we're not pro gamers here. These will go out in like half a second. So we put 1 of these on here, and we craft the nails. And that will give us access to the workbench, which we will move over here. Cool. Yeah, for some reason our character is able to outrun deer. Come on. Damn. That's super unfortunate. Deer are a little skittish. I'm pretty sure you need a bow to hunt them properly. But all we've got is a spear, and I can't even figure out how to... Okay, now you're just taunting me. Where are you? Oh, we are way far away from the base. I am sorry about this, guys. I did not think it was going to run this far. So, I don't believe you get leather when you... Actually, hang on a second. Why am I doing this? Just occurred to me. Hey, there we go. Okay, so we have... Yeah, we've acquired a bone, which we can turn into bone shards at our workbench. However, we have also bloodied our hands. So, when you have bloody hands... Hey, excuse me. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, okay. I absolutely forgot how to do that. So if you right-click on your canteen and you have dirty hands, you can wash your hands, which is really only important after you've made a kill. But it does prevent you from, like, tainting your food, and that is a thing in this game. If your hands are dirty, it will absolutely taint your food. So don't do it. Okay, so if we throw the bone on here, we can craft bone shards, and that gives us 3 of them. Throw the seeds in there, eat that. Okay, and we got a new 25 minutes. So, corn and potatoes and stuff like that have a lot longer shelf life. Corn has like 2 hours, I think. Onions also have 2 hours. They might have 4. I don't remember. Potatoes are the longest at 11 hours. That's 11 real-time hours. It's absolutely massive. They almost never go bad. But they can go bad, and you should pay attention to that. I've had it happen once or twice. There we go. Yeah, see, there we go. And now we have meat that will last for a couple hours. We're doing okay. See, carbs and vitamins for the corn. Really good stuff there. We're going to eat another piece of meat. Drink some water. There we go. So we're finally going to finish the entryway to our base, and we're going to put a door up here. I like this one. This one looks good to me. Okay, that's going to empty, and I want this emptying inward, because if I close it, it has unit collision. So if I close it and there's something behind me, it will push the thing back through the door. I don't want it to push it in with me. I want it to keep it out. So, something mildly important to remember. Gonna need to go get more logs soon. Okay, so we need bone shards, plant fiber, and sticks. 3 sticks to be exact. 1, 2, 3. And we can actually make the bone spear in our inventory. I'll show you that. Hang on. Split. You only need 1 shard. So a really good way to... I'm just going to do it this way. There we go. Okay. So now we have our spears. We will be picking up the stone spear again. Just moving stuff around in the inventory. And that's how you have to do that, by the way. You can't just click and drag to replace an item in a spot. You actually have to vacate the spot. So, and you cannot store weapons in like storage chests. They have to be stored again in a weapon or tool rack. You can't get around that. So we're gonna take out the stone spear, and we're going to try and go frog hunting. Maybe frog hunting sounds about right. If we see another large animal, we might wind up hunting that. Now that we know that the bone spear can and will do, or the stone spear can and will do the job, we can actually do that with some confidence. Ooh, cucumbers, nice. Eventually, we're going to get to the point where we're planting crops, and that's when it becomes taunt-me. That is where it actually becomes really important to... Oh, where are we? Oh, we are too close to that PO. Okay, so we're going to go through the map here in just a hot second. For right now, we are getting... I don't know if you noticed, because I don't know if the music is loud enough for you guys. The music changed, which signals that you are near to where you could be in danger. It's kind of like your danger sense. There's not much music playing right now, which is fine. I mean, I'm okay with that. However, when the music changes like that, it means that you are or could be in danger, and you need to be careful. That danger sense is going to be your lifeline in a lot of this game. If you hear the ominous thumping of drums or whatever, I'm not sure exactly what that instrument would be. I think it's drums. You want to be careful. You want to pay attention. You want to take a good look around, because there could very well be a Vambi like standing fairly close to you, and you would not know. They do not make a ton of noise. Although, oddly enough, they are not silent either. Like, they do howl. For some reason, the audio doesn't always play, or at least it doesn't for me. And it's really frustrating. It's irritating. But I'm not actually even sure that it's the developer's fault, because it could very well be a component in my computer dying, in which case that would suck. But it could be my fault. Well, my theoretical fault. The one thing we need before we actually go hunting for Vambis is a shield. And I need 3 planks, which I have. And how many iron fragments? What? Oh my god. Okay. Do we have any? Of course we don't. Because why would we? Okay. Then we're going to take that. So your shield is going to be your major defensive item here for a long time. It really is what you want to have. And it's pretty easy to... That's clay. Okay, so this is clay. This is not rocks. If I break this down, I get clay. And I'm not hunting for clay yet. I need stone. The thing is, clay and whatever else don't regenerate, so if I get overburdened with clay, it's not like I can just drop it on the ground and not worry about it. Like, that's not how that works. There we go. Clay is a pretty finite resource. There is ways to get it that are a little later on. Not difficult. They're not dangerous. It's just that I don't have the tech for it yet, and clay is going to be pretty precious for a while. That's not necessarily the first tech you want to start with. There are definitely techs that you want to get before that one. Oh, I'm going to need to get some more firewood, it looks like. Stop it. Being cheeky already. This is definitely a game where timing matters in the sense of, like, you got to do the work, you got to be ready before you go and do stuff. And if you don't, and it doesn't go well for you usually. We're just going to take these 3 logs, put them in here. There we go. See, so, 4 logs, and that's what you get, basically, for 4 logs. It's not bad. One of the first things that we're going to do, or that I like to do, is get the more advanced furnace. And it's not, like, super advanced, but it is going to allow us to smelt 10 rocks per load, and it's just amazing. It will really speed up the process. It costs less material-wise, rock-wise anyway, than all of these, than even 2 of these put together. It's way more efficient. and that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I actually need to drop some rocks. There we go, exactly. One thing that the caves give you, while we're on the topic of resources and gathering and all that good stuff, one thing that caves do give you is it will spawn like endless amount of these rocks here, and a fair number of these at pretty regular intervals. Those, you could try your luck with those. You can get resources other than stone out of those rocks. Most of the time you're going to be getting lead. I don't usually go with the trying to harvest in the mine. I don't like having to compete with scorpions. It's not fun. Would rather not. Let's see. The shield will last a long time, so even though we're going to build one, it is actually entirely possible we never have to make another one. As long as we keep up on the repairs, should be fine. So this will be 20 iron fragments, and then we'll have another 10 that we'll have access to. Unfortunately, I don't really want to leave here until we have a shield. Oh, look at that. We can actually... Okay. That is too cool. That should fill up with water. That is cool. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Exactly. So, yeah, sweet. The fact that that's filling with water is actually amazing. Unfortunately, learning that took a large amount of time. So that will automatically start to boil as soon as I put water in it. And the only way to keep it from totally filling up, or totally cooking, is to keep adding water to it. And yeah. Cool. Morning is around 6 or 6:30 a.m. So we're going to sleep that long. There we go. And then we're going to go get breakfast. There we go. That should be enough fuel to cook the meat. There we go. Okay. So I don't know if I explained it very well, guys, so I'm going to just make sure that I do explain it properly. So in the game, you have to smelt rocks to get iron fragments. You smelt iron fragments to get iron bars. Alright? Now, with any other metal, mostly, you don't have to worry about that, but you do have to worry about it for iron. Steel is a little less complicated in that you take iron ore and you mix it with lead, I think. I think you mix it with lead. I know that doesn't, like, chemically that doesn't make steel, and I know that, but I'm pretty sure that's how the developer programmed it. Probably easier than trying to actually program, like, the actual formula, so, I don't know, I'll give it to him. It's not the worst conversion that I've ever seen, so, yeah, can't really complain about that. And we're just going to do that. And then we're also going to... No. So, if we want to actually retain heat in the winter, we are going to have to do something regrettable. And we are going to have to place those like that. Those are going to cost us 2 logs and 3 planks apiece, and then we can build half walls up there. It's not ideal, but it's what we got. Actually, I think I'm just going to go for a full... Is there even? Nah. Okay, so... Yeah. Okay. So that's not going to work either. It's unfortunate to have to use full foundation pieces for that little corner there, but I don't think we're going to be able to get away with it. What we want to do is try and just seal off the cave. And yeah, we're going to have to build extra foundation pieces for that. That's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. Because it's just the front part that we want to seal off like that. It's so... Okay, so we didn't get to actually raiding a POI today, and that's super unfortunate. We'll build the shield, like, right now. Where's my planks? Oh, I probably spent them on something. Okay. So what it's almost at the hour mark. We're going to chop down a tree, and we are going to... we're going to make some planks. We're going to make the shield and then leave it there. And the first thing that we'll do when we come back is we're going to do a POI. Or we're going to try to do a POI. No promises about how well that will go. 1, 2, 3. I need my other... Yeah, exactly. Okay. Again, you just go into your little book there. Click the shield. It will take all the resources out of your bag. There we go. Bob's your uncle. Now we can actually do some POIs. I am so sorry that it took that long to get that in order, but it is, as they say, what it is. we're going to prep ourselves with the materials to make 2 spears, and we're actually going to try on the way to the POI to break the stone spear in favor of a bone spear, because the bone spear is just way better. But that will have to wait until next time. This is Shadow Gaming. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you made it this far. It really helps. Alright, take care.